Most people believe there are only two ways to deal with toxic family members. You either tolerate the pain and stay silent, or you cut them off completely and walk away. But mentally strong people often choose a third option. An option that protects their peace without destroying important relationships. Because real life is rarely as simple as internet advice makes it sound. Family is complicated. Emotions are complicated. And sometimes the strongest decision is not leaving or staying. It is learning how to deal with difficult people without allowing them to control your mind. And once you understand this difference, you may never look at family conflict the same way again. When people talk about toxic relationships, the advice is usually straightforward. Remove negative people from your life. Protect your energy. Move on. And while that advice can sometimes be necessary, family relationships are different. Parents, siblings, and close relatives often carry years of history, emotion, and shared experiences. Mentally strong people understand that not every difficult relationship must end completely. Instead, they develop the emotional skills needed to protect themselves while maintaining healthy distance where necessary. Today, we will explore 6 powerful things mentally strong people do instead of cutting family off completely. Mentally strong people learn to separate a person's behavior from the person themselves. Most people see a difficult relative and immediately label them as toxic. But emotionally intelligent people understand that behavior often comes from pain, insecurity, fear, or unresolved struggles. This does not excuse hurtful actions. It simply creates a healthier perspective. Instead of becoming consumed by anger, they recognize that a person's flaws are only one part of who they are. They may dislike certain behaviors while still acknowledging the humanity of the individual. This mindset reduces emotional exhaustion and prevents family conflicts from taking complete control of their thoughts. Mentally strong people stop treating every disagreement like a battle that must be won. Many family conflicts continue for years because both sides constantly try to prove they are right. But wise people understand that being right does not always create peace. Sometimes the cost of winning an argument is far greater than the value of the argument itself. They learn to ask a simple question. Is this conversation actually improving anything? If the answer is no, they step back. They conserve their emotional energy. They stop feeding endless cycles of conflict. Because peace often comes from choosing your battles carefully, not from winning all of them. Mentally strong people stop expecting everyone to become the person they wish they were. One of the biggest sources of frustration in family relationships comes from unrealistic expectations. We want people to be more understanding, more supportive, more emotionally aware. But many people never change in the ways we hope. Mentally strong people understand this reality. They accept people for who they are instead of constantly fighting who they are. Acceptance does not mean approval. It simply means seeing reality clearly. Once they stop expecting impossible changes, they experience less disappointment and more emotional freedom. Because peace often begins when expectations finally meet reality. Mentally strong people create boundaries instead of immediately creating distance. Many people think the only solution to a difficult relationship is complete separation. But healthy boundaries can often solve problems before drastic actions become necessary. They decide what behavior they will tolerate and what behavior they will not. They limit certain conversations. They protect private areas of their lives. They reduce exposure to negativity when needed. Most importantly, they communicate those limits through actions rather than endless arguments. A boundary is not punishment, it is protection. And mentally strong people understand that protecting their peace does not require cutting everyone out of their lives. Mentally strong people avoid making major family decisions while emotions are running high. Anger, disappointment, and hurt can create a powerful urge to act immediately. In those moments, cutting someone off may feel like the perfect solution. But emotionally intelligent people know that strong emotions often create short-term clarity and long-term regret. They give themselves time. They allow emotions to settle before making important decisions. They separate temporary feelings from permanent choices. Because once a relationship is damaged, rebuilding it is often far more difficult than people expect. Mental strength is not reacting quickly. It is responding wisely after emotions have cooled. Mentally strong people stop spending their lives trying to change other people. Instead, they focus on improving themselves. This shift changes everything. Many family conflicts continue because someone is constantly waiting for another person to become different. More respectful, more supportive, more understanding. But mentally strong people recognize that real control begins with themselves. They work on their mindset. They strengthen their emotional resilience. They improve their communication skills. And they develop the ability to remain calm even when others are difficult. Because true power comes from mastering your own responses, not from controlling someone else's behavior. The moment this lesson is understood, relationships become far less exhausting. Take a moment and think about the people in your family who have challenged you the most. The goal is not to excuse harmful behavior. The goal is not to sacrifice your peace. The goal is to become strong enough that someone else's behavior no longer controls your emotional state. Mentally strong people understand that every relationship does not need to be perfect to have value. They learn when to step back. They learn when to set boundaries. And they learn when to let go of expectations that only create disappointment. Because true mental strength is not always found in walking away. Sometimes it is found in protecting your peace, while keeping your wisdom, your compassion, and your self-respect intact.